teamed with Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett, and Hakeem Olajuwon. It's worth noting that Melo and the podcast host agreed not to include Michael Jordan since he's a lock, but social media was shocked that Melo named himself as a starter over his closest friend and new teammate LeBron James. So Shannon, will LeBron be upset with Melo about being snubbed in the all-time starting five?
Well, Skip, I think LeBron answered this because they asked her, you and LeBron gonna be cool? And LeBron said, I guess so, in a tweet. Skip, I mean, come on, man. What is this? I mean, he got himself, Magic, Kobe, and Garnett.
Garnett?
And he got, on the bench, he got LeBron, CP3, Durant, Wade, and Shaq. In the last two spots with the AI and Dr. J. I mean, how am I supposed to take this?
I don't know.
How am I supposed to take this list serious, Skip?
I know, that's true. I would agree. But I would say LeBron at least has to be a little miffed at it because it's such a shock because they agree that Jordan's so good, he's like on another planet.
Right.
Like, we don't even need to deal with him.
Right.
Well, that's wrong. You know, he belongs in your top five, right?
Right.
But you're going to dismiss him from even being in this conversation in a good way, but you're going to dismiss LeBron James from the top five in a bad way?
But he going to put himself in
Wait a minute, you're going to put yourself in with a straight face? Hey, as big a LeBron critic as I am, would I ever argue Melo over No, not in my wildest nightmares would I ever go that far.
Look, look here. I like to think I'm a pretty good tight end, but I ain't trying to put myself in over Gronk. I'm good with that. I mean,
okay,
look,
but you're a lot closer to Gronk than Melo is to LeBron.
Yeah,
like,
but
you're like light years closer.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Carmelo Anthony would have the audacity to put himself on first team, and then how about the second team? He's got Chris Paul. I respect Chris Paul, but is he better than Steph in the biggest picture? No, he's just not. Has he won MVP? No, he's not won MVPs. And you know, it's like Shaq. I can argue this all day long. You know, how do you put Kevin Garnett above Shaq? I mean, seriously.
Well, first of all, how you put Kevin Garnett over Tim Duncan?
Over Tim Duncan, who's not even, he didn't make the whole squad. He's not even on the squad.
Man, Tim Duncan's the top 10 player.
Okay.
Forget top 20,
Okay,
top
who was
10.
your favorite player when you were growing up?
Larry Bird.
He didn't even make the whole squad, right?
Skip, Carmelo is not better than Bird.
He's just not. He's not better than Larry Bird.
No.
That's like laughable to me. But how could Carmelo, as a new Los Angeles Laker, and for the first time in his life, his dream came true, and he is the teammate of one of his best friends, LeBron James, and then he does that to him?
We are, but LeBron said we are. I guess we are. Right.
Well, is it I guess?
We are.
Wouldn't you go so far as he's a little miffed?
No, you know what? I think the thing is, Skip, is that when you're friends with someone, you can joke with them in ways that other people can't. Now, I'm not so sure if somebody else makes this list that he's gonna be, and they put Melo in over him. I'm not so sure he might like really, even though he's like, oh, hold on, that is Melo, that's my boy. But I know that's my boy, but he ain't over me. If somebody else did that, but I think he knows Melo, he cool with Melo. I don't think it's gonna be a problem.
Okay, but in the end, I don't think it'll be a long-term part. I think LeBron is just short-term miffed about it.
He probably called LeBron.
You think so?
Yeah, he probably told him.
Well, but from what I read of this, I didn't actually hear it and see it.
Right.
But the point is, it came off as he was serious about it.
Skip, after he
wasn't joking.
Skip, he had beef with Kevin Garnett, and he gonna put Kevin Garnett on the first.
That's another good point. Because they didn't have beef; they had some serious issues going on.
Skip, it's like a situation like me. You know how me and Deion saying time is. I'm gonna call him and say, man, they would give me to say, well, give me your two best corners. I'm gonna call him and say, bro, I left you off. You know what I'm saying? But in all honesty,
but ain't no way you could leave him off.
I would.
Well, that's it for us, guys. We'll be back Monday at 9:30
But you know
Eastern.
they don't
Enjoy
go
the
James
weekend of football, but don't go anywhere because the herd starts.
Go James.
LeBron will enter his 19th season trimmer than usual, according to Rob Pelinka, who said, quote, he's slimmed up going into this stage of his career. He's made a decision to come back a little bit leaner, and I think that's going to translate in his explosiveness and quickness. He's been very, very locked in with his training, and you get a sense he has a confidence in his teammates when he looks around the locker room. Shannon, do you believe LeBron will be in even better shape than he was last year?
Even better than last year?
Skip, I don't like to get into quantifying when it comes to shape. Because the one thing that we know about LeBron James is that he's never out of shape. But I am a firm believer as we start to age in a professional sport, we should drop a few pounds. I know that's what I did. I didn't weigh the same in my 30s as I did in my 20s. And as I got closer and closer, I started coming in a pound, 2 pounds lighter. So by my last year, I showed up to camp at about 226, and my last game I weighed 223. So that's the way I like to do it, whereas I was coming in at 237, then 35, then 36, then 32, then 30. So I just felt as I aged, I needed to get lighter, Skip, because normally as you get older and you weigh the same or you weigh more, you're not as fast. So I felt as I was getting older, I needed to take some weight off so I can maintain that level of quickness. So I can share this with you. Somebody's in a heap of trouble. See, AD felt that I needed to be able to bang. So I'm going to play a lot of 5. I will need to bang. So I need to beef up. LBJ says, you know what? I'm about to be 37. I'm going to be taking off from half court. I need to trim down. Long story short, short story long. Y'all over. It's over. It's over now. You get treated so bad.
Yeah, you keep picking the Nets to win it all.
Don't you worry about that. I tell you who I'm not picking, Clippers. I tell you it's over for the Clippers. It's over for the Clippers.
Yeah, it won't be over if he comes back by March.
Well, I don't know who he is. Well, but if he comes back, he in trouble too.
He is he. He is the
whoever he is, he in trouble when he comes back.
Kawhi Town owns this town because he owns the Lakers.
No, he doesn't. Stop saying that.
Okay, so one day I hear that AD has buffed up.
Yeah.
And Coach Vogel says he's imposing.
Physical.
Imposing.
Yes.
The next day, the GM says that LeBron has slimmed up.
Sleek.
It's usually slimmed down, but I'll give you slimmed up. I know where he's going with it.
Sleek.
And he says LeBron has been very, very locked in with his training. Well, this indicates to me that he was a little overweight last year. And wait, all those videos he posted over the last 3 years, I guess they were just a bunch of phony baloney that he must have been eating a little baloney along the trail.
You saw the man.
Because he's saying he's more locked in now with his training than he used to be. So I guess all that, look at me, all those videos that I had to sit through and sleep through.
You didn't have to sit through it. Why you followed it?
It's my job. I don't follow it. I see him at night when they get sent on our undisputed night list. I'm like, not again. LeBron, are you the only one who works out in the NBA?
Yeah,
right?
I love that, bro. Get hype. Get hype.
The hype videos. And I'm saying, wait a second. Are you suggesting that you work harder than anybody else? See, Kawhi works really hard. Kevin Durant works really hard.
What does Kawhi work
They
on?
just don't post.
I'm not scared. First of all, Kevin Durant can't gain weight. Kevin Durant's going to be 172 pounds at 7 foot tall for the rest of his life.
Yeah, Kawhi is put together. He is all man.
All man.
Yeah.
Mr. Glass. That's what he is.
Okay.
You remember the character? You know the character I'm talking
Mr.
about.
Glass.
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson character.
Okay, so are we suggesting here that LeBron was, dare I say, fat last year?
No, what we're saying is that he realized that he gets a full offseason. There are a lot of guys that didn't come back into peak condition because it was a quick turnaround. LeBron needed ample time. Now, he's like, you know what? I tried to be maybe 5 pounds heavier. That doesn't work for me.
Are we suggesting maybe he celebrated a little too long after the bubble championship? Bubblicious.
No,
asterisk.
I don't believe.
Cubic
The one
zirconia.
thing I don't worry about LeBron is I don't worry about him not putting the work in. Because
really?
you don't get to this level without putting the work in. He put the work in.
Well, I kept telling you last year, it looks like he's got some new love handles.
He had no love handles.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy had love handles, and before he got injured, he was favored to win the MVP. Now the man get hurt. You see what you did? Now he got hurt, and you want to forget all about it. But up until that point, he was the front runner for the MVP.
How can LeBron be more locked into his training than he was last year, year before?
Because, Skip.
More locked in than ever?
Yeah, because guess what? You're closer to the end than the beginning. And that's what you start to do. Because what we start to do, Skip, as we start to age, we realize the one thing that we can never recapture is time. We can't borrow it. We can't hold on to it. All we can do